Hello, I'm Councilwoman Laura Pastor in the heart of the city, rockin' District 4. Today, I'm joined by a group of amazing women who are here to talk about a difficult subject, cancer. More specifically, we'll be discussing breast cancer and how we can all work to make testing and treatment more equitable. First, I'd like to welcome my colleague on the Phoenix City Council, District 8, Councilwoman Kesha Hodge Washington. Welcome.
Thank you.
Together, we're excited to co-host the first ever Boobs, Bubbles, and Brunch event to highlight the importance of getting screened for breast cancer. Councilwoman Hodge Washington, I'm so excited for this event. As the co-host on this project, why is this important to you?
It's very important to me because, like many other individuals, I have lost a family member and a loved one to breast cancer. Most recently, I lost my godmother who passed following her second bout with breast cancer. And I know that 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and I know the mortality rate for African American women is 42% higher than it is for the general population. So it's very important to me because I believe early detection is key. And whatever we can do to help save women from losing their lives as a result of the disease, I am here for it.
So I am actually happy that you and I are co-hosting and saving women's lives. That's really, I would say, one of our purposes in our role is to bring information and education to the community.
I agree. I think what we're doing is one of the many important steps to making sure that breast cancer no longer is the fatality or the death sentence that it once was.
So thank you so much for helping out on this project. I know together we'll make a big difference in our community.
Together we will. Thank you again.
Together always.
Let's go.
Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Shukla, who is a radiation oncologist and a co-founder of Vershalee Cancer Center. Dr. Shukla has dedicated her whole life to detecting, preventing, and treating cancer. Dr. Shukla, can you tell us why screening for breast cancers is so important for women, especially for African American women?
Absolutely. So breast cancer is one of the most common cancers that exists, and screening and catching it earlier means better survival and less treatment. And so it's so important to catch it early. Women who have dense breasts, and some are because of younger women, some are just genetically predisposed, and as well as African American women. Dense breasts, mammography is not good for dense breasts because it can't see through it. And so those patients don't have the benefit as mammogram as women who don't have dense breasts. And so we have to look for alternatives in order to help diagnose cancer early in that population.
Dr. Shukla, you and your partners have access to the latest cancer screening technology and medical procedures. Can you tell us how this state-of-the-art technology helps with breast cancer screening?
So we use a specialized ultrasound called QT ultrasound, which helps to identify breast cancer in dense breasts. It also helps to identify breast cancer in women who have breast implants. And so that's the scan that we utilize. But something we're super excited about is a new blood test called Cyantra. And this looks for breast cancer through a simple blood test. It's actually looking for autoantibodies that a woman produces when she gets breast cancer. And it's safe to do because there's no radiation. And the studies have shown around an 80% sensitivity in women of the age of 25 to 80.
Is there anything new you can tell us about the screening process or what you and your team are doing to get women screened?
The test that we are utilizing is going to be part of the Department of Defense study that we're doing in partnership with University of Calgary, Columbia, and Cornell. And we are hoping to screen 1,000 women and follow these women over the next 3 years to see if they develop breast cancer or not. And so this type of research is so important because it's going to help women across the country.
Dr. Shukla, thank you so much for being on with us today. As Dr. Shukla mentioned, the Department of Defense study will provide 1,000 free breast cancer tests throughout the month of March to assist with breast cancer screening. This is a great segue into the rest of our discussion on today's show around the importance of breast cancer screening. Sitting here with me today are 3 amazing women: Lisa Bell, the president and CEO of the LMB project, Jauron Leefers, who works in the Phoenix City Manager's Office, Audrey Bell-Jenkins, CEO of Real Women Revealed. Ladies, I'm so excited to have you. Welcome. So Lisa, thanks for being here. Why is this project important to you, and how do you think we can all start destigmatizing breast cancer screening?
You know, women have boobs. We need to own that. They belong to us. And a few years ago, I went to my normal screening, just thinking I'm just going to go do my standard mammogram, and they found something. And they found a mass on the left side of my breast, and they had to do a biopsy immediately. So I had to call my husband, and it's not a call that you want to make, right? To get right over right away and do the procedure. And thank God the mass was benign, but you know, a lot of women just don't do breast checks. They don't add that to the laundry list of things that they do in their lives. So it's just without checking, going to your doctors, talking to your doctors, and having the exams, you just won't know, and you're putting your life at risk.
Jauron, what drew you to this project? How do you think this testing will help patients?
I am very excited to be included in this as someone who has family members who have experienced breast cancer. I think that it's very important to get testing. I myself waited. I didn't go right at the age at 40. And I'm thankful that we have access to testing. And I hope that people understand what it means for African American and Black women to get tested and take away some of sort of the cloud that's around that, especially since Black women tend to have a 41% higher mortality rate when it comes to breast cancer, and they tend to be misdiagnosed. And so understanding that access to testing is available and getting the word out that these new tests are available is very good for the community.
Audrey, I'm so excited for this brunch to kick off Women's History Month in March. Can you tell us more about the event?
Absolutely. Boobs, bubbles, and brunch is just fun in itself, how it sounds. So I am super excited to have a safe space where these tests can be administered. It will be March 2nd, kicking off Women's History Month at the historic Carver Museum from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And this is just, it's amazing to be able to provide this necessary service, fun but necessary.
Why did we choose the Carver Museum? And how are you hoping to make cancer screening and testing a positive experience?
So the Carver Museum is very historical to African American Blacks in the state of Arizona. The first Black high school, the only Black high school. And so it's kind of fitting that we as Black women have our event there to actually bring more, shine a light to the museum, and also shine a light on the importance of testing.
I think it's perfect to have it at a historic place for such historic testing that's being administered on March 2nd. And the fun of it is just that there's blood drawn. There's no taking off your clothes. There's no, we all don't like that part of it. So how fun with the brunch, the boobs, bubbles, and brunch, and then how easy it is to find out such mandatory information.
Right. And as someone who has experienced going through mammograms and having to have a 2D and a 3D, the idea of a blood draw to test for breast cancer or screen for breast cancer sounds very appealing to me. And you know, like I said before, as someone who put off that first mammogram until I was 3 years past the recommended age because of the fear. And while most people maybe they don't like having their blood drawn, they don't fear it like we do as women with having a mammogram. And so access to this easier screening certainly is something that's good for the community.
Safe space.
Yeah,
safe
certainly.
space.
And
is
also
very
too,
important.
I mean, I didn't know anything about it. I mean, this is cutting edge, and the fact that we're a part of this is pretty amazing. So I feel honored that we were chosen to take part in this.
Historic all the way around,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Ladies, thank you so much for being here today. Breast cancer screening is so important, and I'm glad to have you all here to discuss. Now I need to go and find a pink outfit for this brunch. Thank you all so much for being here with us today. I hope you'll join Councilwoman Hodge Washington and I at the Boobs, Bubbles, and Brunch event on Saturday, March 2nd at the Carver Museum here in Phoenix. I'm Councilwoman Laura Pastor in the heart of the city, rockin' District 4.